Headlines. Kano police now have 873 suspects in connection with destruction and looting during nationwide protest. Unknown gunmen kill one, abduct 8 others in Kaduna community. Explosion rocks APP secretariat in Rivers. Police launch probe. And on the foreign scene, Ugandan landslide death toll rises to 23. Hello, welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Lilian Ogazi. The Kano State Police Command have arrested 873 suspects linked to the destruction and looting of public property during recent hunger protests across the state. Addressing a press conference, State Police Commissioner Solomon Dogo disclosed that a significant cache of dangerous weapons was recovered from the suspects during operations conducted from August 1st to 10th, 2024. Trust TV's correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that several other suspects have since been persecuted. Here's the report.
What began as a peaceful demonstration to protest the soaring cost of living in Nigeria quickly spiraled into chaos, leading to widespread violence, destruction and looting of public property across Kano State.
In line with the directive of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetokun, PhD MPM, to all the commands and formation for ensuring professionalism and provisions of police service that is rule of law compliant. The Kano State Police Command has worked diligently and professionally towards addressing the aftermath of this event.
In the aftermath of the protest, police have prosecuted 600 suspects for various offenses, including 150 for violating the curfew. A significant number of dangerous weapons were also recovered.
Arrest of an additional 6 suspects linked with mastermind destruction, setting ablaze, and looting of Kano Printing Press, KPP, are undergoing investigations. 4. Arrest and transfer of 76 suspects flying Russian flags, including foreigners, to Force Headquarters, Abuja, for district investigation on charge of seditions. Arrest of 41 suspects for other major crimes, including armed robbery, kidnapping, car theft.
Among the suspects are 2 armed robbers caught with 10 million naira and 2 AK-47 rifles. Several others have also been arrested in connection with various crimes committed across the state.
The 2 AK-47s were recovered, and the amount of money that was robbed in the neighboring village before the reports were recovered. The sum of 15 million naira was robbed, and about 10 million naira were recovered immediately after the arrest.
Despite the challenges posed by the protest, the police remain resolute in their commitment to protecting the lives and properties of all residents in Kano State. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Meanwhile, unknown gunmen have attacked Kwasam in Kauru local government area of Kaduna State, killing 1 doctor, Ishaya, and abducting about 8 others. A source said the kidnappers stormed the community in the early hours of Monday and went away with people's property. According to the source, the community is now calm and people are going about their normal duties. The State Police Command is yet to issue a statement on the incident. Meanwhile, the police in Taraba State says a lecturer with Federal University Wukari and Deputy Registrar of Taraba State School of Health Technology Takum were among the passengers killed by gunmen along Takum Wukari Road early Monday morning. The acting police public relations officer, Taraba Police Command DSP Kwache Gambo, who disclosed this on Monday, said 6 passengers, including the driver, were killed at a boundary area between Taraba and Benue along Takum Wukari Road. Reports say among the victims was a secondary school principal who was transferred from secondary school Takum to another secondary school in Wukari local government area. He was said to be on his way to report at the new school he was posted to when he was killed in the attack. It was learned that a lecturer from Federal University Wukari was returning to Wukari after spending the weekend with his family in Takum. Meanwhile, gunmen have abducted 2 Chinese nationals along Kemta, along Onigbedu in a Kweroro local government area of Ogun State. The spokesperson of the Ogun State Police Command, Omolola Odutola, confirmed the incident on Monday in Abeokuta. Odutola, however, said efforts were on to ensure the release of the victims. She also stated that the kidnappers had contacted their company to demand a ransom for their release. The federal government has mandated all government organizations and agencies to procure military hardware from the military-industrial complex at the Defense Industry Corporation, DICON, Kaduna. While addressing a news conference in Abuja ahead of the 60th anniversary of the Defense Industry Corporation, DICON, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Defense, Ibrahim Kana, said it is only when the desired hardware is unavailable at DICON that government organizations will be allowed to make procurement from abroad. Kana explained that the new DICON Act signed into law by President Bola Tinubu mandates government agencies to look inward for military hardware procurement to contribute to Nigeria's national development and national security. He said such patronage is capable of boosting foreign exchange earnings through local production of defense equipment, in addition to creating jobs for skilled Nigerians and reducing capital flights to foreign nations. 25 people have been confirmed dead in a boat mishap at Wamako local government area of Sokoto State. According to a source, a canoe with about 40 passengers capsized on Dundaye River. A source added that the victims, who are primarily children and women, were on their way to their farms across the river when the incident happened. He said about 15 victims were rescued by swimmers in the village, while about 25 were still missing. His rescue efforts continues. Confirming the incident, the special advisor to the Sokoto State Governor on State Emergency Management Agency, Nasiru Garba, said a rescue operation team and the National Emergency Management Agency officials had been mobilized to the village for a rescue operation. Nasiru Garba attributed the mishap to the overflow of River Dundaye in Wamako local government area of the state. Tragedy struck the community of Runjin Bamo village in Kajiji district, located in the Shagari local government area of Sokoto State, as 7 members of a single family succumbed to a deadly cassava delicacy. In a communique issued by Nora Bello, the information officer of the State Ministry of Health, the distressing news was confirmed on a Sunday. According to the statements, the village head Mohammed Modi detailed the heart-wrenching incident to the Commissioner for Health, Asabe Balarabe, revealing that the victims had partaken in the contaminated cassava meal during dinner. Government officials swiftly mobilized to the scene to investigate the root cause of the tragedy, with the aim of prompt communication to the authorities for requisite intervention. Commissioner Balarabe announced plans to collect samples from a surviving teenager who had also consumed the tainted cassava dish. Amidst the grim turn of events, Commissioner Balarabe extended her heartfelt condolences to the grief-stricken populace of the affected area, expressing solidarity in the face of the unfortunate loss. This is news updates coming to you from Trust TV. Coming up, we'll be looking at how explosion rocked APP Secretariat in River State, and police have launched a probe into it. This and more when we return. This day. You are welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is news updates coming to you from Trust TV. Let us take a look at our headline stories again. Kano police nabbed 873 suspects in connection with destruction and looting during nationwide protests. Unknown gunmen kill one, abduct 8 others in Kaduna community. Now moving on to other stories, the reinstated Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, has resumed office and has directed his staff to follow suit. He's also warning banks carrying out transactions with the office of the Deputy Governor of Edo State without his express consent about the illegality of such transactions. In a video broadcast, Shaibu mandated those yet to resume work since his reinstatement to do so or face the consequences. According to him, the judgments of the Federal High Court which reinstated him indicated that his office has never been vacant.
Today, I am issuing a clear directive to all staff within the Deputy Governor's office whom have not yet returned to work to resume forthwith. Failure to comply will result in appropriate sanctions. In line with the judgment, the office of the Deputy Governor was never vacant. In this regard, all transactions that would have been done in my absence remain illegal, null and void, and of no effect whatsoever. I want to make it known that any bank conducting business with the office of the Deputy Governor of Edo State without my explicit approval does so at its own risk. Nevertheless, I want to reassure my dear people of Edo State that I am back in my role as the Deputy Governor of Edo State, ready to perform my duties, fulfill my responsibilities, and deliver on the promises of democracy. God bless Edo State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And now away from that, now the leadership of the Actions People's Party, APP, at the national level has condemned devastating explosion at its secretariat in Rivers State, leaving a trail of destruction and fear of escalating political violence in the state. APP, which is relatively new in Rivers State, drew attention to itself recently after securing and decorating a building in the highbrow area of Port Harcourt for its secretariat.
The national chairman of the party, Uchenna Nnadi, who spoke in Port Harcourt after inspecting the level of damage at the party secretariat, described the development as an attack on democracy, calling on President Bola Tinubu and security agencies to ensure that those behind the act are fished out and punished. The state chairman of the APP, Sonny Nwokoro, said the party is not deterred by the threats.
It's really a sad day for democracy. We condemn it in its strongest term, the act of bombing our Rivers State chapter secretariat. It is a heinous act. It is an act of terrorism. It is a treasonable act.
Just that as civilized people, we try not to be violent. But if anybody, those who have done this have thought that this will deter us, unfortunately, it has given us more resolve to go on to do what we're supposed to do, because it's a clear indication of defeat on their side. It's a clear indication that we are doing the right thing and we will not be deterred in any form.
While the national chairman of the party also stated that those behind the attack were afraid of the APP in the forthcoming local government election, its Rivers State chairman, Sonny Nwokoro, added that the party in the state has received many PDP members and is ready for the forthcoming local government election. Rivers State Police Commissioner Tunji Disu affirmed that the police have launched an investigation into the matter. He advised everyone in the state to be security conscious while he awaits the report of the probe. Disu stated this after leading a delegation of officers to inspect the facility in the new GRA of Port Harcourt.
These people at first, they said that conduct local government election. The governor sets plans in place to conduct local government election. We know how they have been shopping for one order or the other in all the course in the federation, trying to stop the local government forthcoming election. They have seen that they are not able to achieve that. They have resorted to violence.
We are not deterred in any way. We're only asking that the governor of Rivers State, he's been doing well, and he swore an oath to uphold the laws of this land, to defend life and property, and he's doing that.
But most importantly, everybody have to take their security very important. Like I quickly sent in our officers in here yesterday, because anywhere there's explosion, there's likely to be a second one. So we move people away from that. And that is what my team succeeded in doing yesterday.
Report says the Rivers State Police Command has deployed 2 security vehicles and personnel to the scene in the new GRA.
Now, away from that, colonialism, a system of domination in which one nation controls and exploits another territory and its people, has left an indelible mark on global history. The formal end of colonialism, marked by the wave of decolonization in the mid-20th century, saw many nations in Africa, Asia, and the Caribbean achieve political independence. However, the legacy of colonialism persists in various forms, and the struggle to end its influence continues, with many calling for an end to colonial rule ahead of the 2030 UN deadline. Trust TV's Dorcas Yakubu completes the report.
The history of colonialism is extensive and complex, spanning several centuries and involving many regions across the world. The legacy of colonialism is evident in the political, economic, and social structures of former colonies. The arbitrary borders drawn by colonial powers have often resulted in ethnic conflicts and political instability. Many former colonies continue to grapple with underdevelopment, dependency on primary commodity exports, and debt burdens rooted in colonial exploitation. These has led to calls for decolonization.
We really have to organize to make sure that those territories still under colonial rule or not self-governing must regain their independence as soon as possible. That's the essence.
When a man is enslaved, it's a problem because it's owned by another human being. So when a country is enslaved by another country, it's also a problem. So agitations can never end unless people determine what they will do.
If we have a vision of a united world, that unity that can only happen if we are all equal, if we act in equality. And that's not the imperialism, and the colonies is a system that opposed to that equality that we're fighting for, that we're looking for.
Colonialism has left a legacy of racial and cultural hierarchies that continue to affect national identities and social cohesion. Despite the pervasive influence of neocolonialism, stakeholders say there's a growing need to resist and challenge this domination.
So in a society, in a world where we want more development, we want to have less hunger, we want a place where people can live in peace and happily together, it is extremely important that people are no longer dominated and oppressed, and in many cases violently so, which has been the process of colonialism that we know to date.
The struggle for true independence and self-determination continues as formerly colonized nations seek to overcome the legacy of colonialism and assert their place in the global order. Bringing an end to colonialism in the world involves addressing both the remnants of traditional colonial practices and the more insidious forms of neocolonialism that have emerged in the post-colonial era. Dorcas Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And now in business, the Debt Management Office, DMO, has offered 2 federal government of Nigeria FGN saving bonds for subscription at 1,000 naira per unit. DMO, while disclosing this in a statement on Monday, stated that the first offer is a 2-year FGN saving bond due on August 21st, 2026 at an interest rate of 17.373% per annum. The second offer, according to the statement, is a 3-year bond due on August 21st, 2027 at an interest rate of 18.373% per annum. The statement said the opening date for the offer is August 12th, and the closing date is August 16th, and the settlement date is August 21st, while coupon settlement dates are November 21st, February 21st, May 21st, and August 21st. It added that they are offered at 1,000 naira per unit, subject to a minimum subscription of 5,000 naira, and in multiples of 1,000 naira thereafter, subject to a minimum subscription of 50 million naira. It said interest is payable quarterly, while bullet repayment of the principal sum is on the maturity date. Now, away from Nigeria to Uganda, where the death toll from a garbage landslide in the Ugandan capital Kampala has risen to 23, a city official said on Monday. People and livestock were buried in mountains of waste at the landfill in the northern Kampala district of Kitizi on Saturday after a collapse caused by heavy downpours. The area's resident commissioner, Yasin Ndide, had said on Sunday that the victims included 5 children. Over the weekend, excavators churned through the huge rubbish mounds as a desperate search for survivors was watched by wailing and weeping residents. The incident was described as a national disaster by City Mayor Arias Lukwangu, who warned at the weekend that many more could still be buried in the heap as rescue operation continued. He had raised concerns over hazardous risk of overflowing waste from the 36-acre landfill, which was established in 1996 and takes in almost all garbage collected across Kampala. And now to sport. Following the disappointment of the Paris 2024 Games, the federal government says preparations for the next Olympics will start now. Nigeria finished the Games on a disappointing note after failing to win a medal in France. But the Ministry of Sport Development has assured of its readiness to turn the tides around and restore the nation's sporting glory. The ministry's spokesperson, Kende Ajayi, said in a Monday statement and thanked President Bola Tinubu for the release of funds and praised the coaches and officials for their efforts throughout the competition. Well, with that, we've come to the end of news updates here on Trust TV. Do well to follow us across all our social media platforms for more news, programs, and documentaries. Thanks for watching. I am Lilian Ogazi.